Hey there everybody, happy Tuesday to you. I hope that you are having a fabulous Giving Tuesday. Kronk just came in, Chris is practicing, so I'm going to step away and close the door for a minute. Okay, we are back. Sorry about that. I am taking a little bit of help from an item that I purchased at the dollar store. Actually, I purchased this at Michael's on their 90% off after summer sale. I did not like the cover of the book, but I thought that the paper was super cool. So I purchased the book. You know, it's like 10 cents, you guys, and I got a nice stack of paper. Trillian last week sent me some of this divine scrapbooking paper from New Zealand. I have never seen anything like this, and I just adore it because it has, you know, the directions on it, north, south, east, and west, the sun, compass roses. It just really speaks to me because I need some direction, and that's why this, you know, this pattern just really does speak to me. I really do love it. On top of that, it's just really, really pretty. This is the paper that I used as a cover for my birthday book, you know, the book that I made that holds my birthday cards. The paper is folded kind of in an odd way, you guys. So when I get paper from her, I thought you might like to see this. This is how it's folded. It's not folded like in a 12 by 12 or anything like that. But what I did was, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to use this paper. I knew that I wanted to use this paper to make a book. Or actually, I think I'm going to make 4. The first thing that I did, friends, was I measured the paper. So this paper is 10 by 7. I added a quarter to the width and the height to cut my covers. So the cover will be 10 1/4 by 7 1/4. I also rounded the edges. Now let me show you what we have here. Because of the way that the paper was folded, I've got a wee fold in the back, and I'll show you how we're going to fix that in just a minute. First thing that I needed to do after I cut the covers was to start taking apart this book. It is bound, it is string bound right here, so you can see where I've clipped these strings. So I'm kind of working my way through the book and trying to find the string bindings here. And you do just have to kind of look at the top of the book and kind of flip back and forth. And okay, so I've taken these out, but I wanted to show you how the best way is to remove these strings. And I don't know if we'll find another one. I'm sure we will. The music that you hear is Chris. He is composing in the studio, which is beside me. We are really, really fortunate that when I bought this house 12 years ago, that it had an entire, like, upstairs that that's supposed to be bedrooms, but you know, we converted it into a studio for him and a little art studio for me. Okay, I'm trying to find, see if we can find, oh, there we go. Okay, so we have more of the little strings right here. So you see the little strings? What we're gonna do is, and this is just like a little hint, you guys, to remove the strings from this book. I'm taking a pair of tweezers, and these are really blunt tweezers, and I'm going to lift the string. You might have to use your fingers, and then what I do is just clip the string, okay? So we lift, with the tweezers, and clip. I dare not trust myself to just clip because I'm afraid that I will clip this nice paper. So we just kind of put the tweezers under there and clip. And then you'll discover that you can kind of pull out 1, 2, let's see how many we get. 3, 4, okay, I've gotten 5. You'll discover when you start pulling these that at a point you won't be able to pull anymore. And then you'll have to kind of search through your book for more strings and clip those strings. So just a little handy dandy hint 1, you know, take your help this time of year. You know, take something that is pre-made and turn it into something that is handmade and homemade. All right, we've got our covers. Now I'm ready to I need to fix this part right here. And the way that I'm going to do that is I am going to just put a strip of matching paper right here to make a little tuck spot in the back of this book. Now just remember, there's no way, you guys, to iron out that crease. That is just the characteristic of papers that are not, like, you know, American-ish papers. But I love it. You know, it encourages you to really, really work with what you have. So I have just I've cut a strip that is 2 by 7 1/4. That's going to fit here. I've put some double stick tape on it, so let's take that off. I had to do this off camera because it gets so messy. And just pull that off. Pull this off right here. And then I am going to put this right here. I'm going to turn it like this. Take my glasses off for a minute. Nope. Put them back on, Tammy. Okay. And we'll just place the strip right here. There we go. If you've got a little bit, you know, you might have to trim a little bit on the bottom. No big deal. And then, of course, I want to round those corners up there. So I'm taking my little corner rounder, rounding, and rounding. Okay. The next step is we have, of course, our beautiful paper here that, you know, take something pre-made and make it homemade, especially if you find it on sale for 10 cents, you guys, because that is, you know, that's a remarkable deal. We're going to nestle. Now, my book was 80 pages, so I wanted to make 4 20-page books. So let's count, see what we have here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that is, those are my 20 pages right there. Now, let me show you something else, you guys. When you start nestling papers together, even though they've been in the book and even though the book was straight, when you take them out and start nestling them back together, you'll get a tiny, tiny bit of extra overhang right here. I do not cut that overhang. To me, when you cut that overhang, you're kind of just, you're messing with the whole, it never turns out right. Let's just put it like that. It never turns out right. So I have my, I don't do the overhang. So I'm nestling my pages in here, And then the next step is to punch some holes right here and do the binding. So I will be right back. I'm going to grab my embroidery floss. Okay friends, I am back. I have my needle threaded, I have my pokey tool out, and we are going to bind our little book here. The way that I do this, y'all, and you know, everybody does it differently. I just make sure that things are fairly even here. I have a little room at the top, so I'm just going to pull that up, kind of stack, fold, make sure that you're fairly even here. We're kind of lucky with this because we already have like pre-made holes, which is awesome. So I'm going to just punch here and go down and just find another hole. Again, you know, the beauty of working with a pre-made item, my friends. I know that I want a little tail on the outside of this book. So I start on the outside, bring my needle in, I go through the top, then I'm going to go through the bottom, just like that. And then go back through the middle. Hold on. There we go. It's like they knotted right there. Alright, so when you've got this done, you'll want to be sure that one side of your binding thread is on one side of this string that runs vertically right here, and that your other side is on the other side of the of your vertical, you know, starting point right here. And then we will tie and give it about 3 ties. If you want a long tail, leave it long. If you want a short tail, you can clip it off. You can put beads on here. You can do whatever you want to with it. So what we've done this morning in a very short amount of time was we've taken a pre-made item and created a handmade item from it. I hope this helped you guys utilize some of your pre-made things that you might have laying around today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will talk to you soon. Take care, y'all. Bye.